currently viewing a dashboard view of the Syntervision Oasis product, and what we're looking at is actually a server and its current health of that device. What we see up here at the top of the screen is actually the name of the server, ESM US INH 041. I can tell here by looking at my properties that it's a Sun OS system, runs Solaris 2.10, and the uptime. If there's any events that are active with the device, I can click on the Live Incidents tab and I could see the event, and then you could drill into it if you were interested. As you look down here at a glance for this one server, I can see, just like we do for the groups or the services, in the dashboard view you have the file system utilization, so that you can see that there's 10 file systems that fall within the 0 to 10% utilization, 10 to 20, etc. as you look across here. And then you have your top 10 that we have over here from a utilization perspective. So on the systems where you have a large number of file systems, it's very handy to be able to see where your top systems are. Just like with any performance metrics that we pull on any of the other dashboards, you can click on it and you can see those, then the drill down into each one of these file systems. And if you want to see the detail, this is the last poll, which would be no longer than 5 minutes ago. We see that it was 22.54% utilized. All you do is click on the view here and it brings up, and this is for the file system /vol, VOL, and I can go across here and you can see as each one of the polls that are taking place every 5 minutes, you can see what that utilization is. And this is for the last 24 hours. Again, we keep 13 months of this information if you go into the reporting section of this. Here's the other file system. You can click on it, that it shows right here within that, and you see the utilization on it as well. If we look further down, you will actually see our processor utilization, and we're pulling it in this case for ITIL, which, as you can tell with this system, that's the majority of what we have here in the blue. And then you have your system and your CPU users. If you hover over any data point at the very bottom, you actually see the timestamp when the data was pulled, and at the top you see the value for the three metrics being collected. The same thing here is for the real memory, being our physical memory, and the swap in this case, which is our virtual memory. You can look and see how it's being utilized for the past 24 hours as well. And for this box right down below is we see the interface utilization, which is not being touched. If you wanted to look at this device in more detail, we can actually go underneath the reporting section. And under the reporting sections, we have data that goes back for 13 months for events or for any of the components that we're pulling performance data for, like processor, memory, interfaces, file system. Underneath our system metrics, we give the capability to drill into more detail about what's actually taking place on a box. For example, if I look at the load on this actual server, this is for the past 24 hours. I can click on any of these graphs at the bottom to change it from 24 hours to a week to a month, 3 months, 6 months, or I can put in a time range to start and end. But as I'm looking across here, for any of these points that I'm interested in that take place, all we have to do is click on the data point, and it will come up with the top 10 processes at that point in time. And you'll see here, these are the processors equivalent to like doing a PS minus EF. You see how much process is being used and who the owner is of these. So instead of just being able to see how the box is being utilized, you can also take a glance into it to be able to see what is utilizing the device as well. And again, we have the same thing if you just want to look at it for an individual metric, like for the sys, user, or weight. We have that information here as well. For the device, if you wanted to look at the historical data on this, for all the events that actually come in place, we store these for you to be able to go back and review.